Hey, what's up guys? So today I'm going to do kind of a character update, just show you guys my character, my weapons, my armor, some of my materials, things like that. So to start off, I am level 32. I got this by doing the Courtesan raid, and getting at the minimum 3 pieces of gear and then maxing those out. So you can see I have Untitled Striders, that's the boots. Basically just max these out. You have to get enough radiant shards to do so. Each piece of raid gear is 21 radiant shards to fully upgrade. So I have the Untitled Striders, the Relentless Harness as the chest piece, and this one is particularly pretty cool looking. And then I have the Dogged Gauge, which is a kind of a strange name, but once again, it's got some interesting attributes on it. So this one, if you melee a hive, it has a chance to spawn an orb of light, which is actually unique to this raid. I've never seen something like that before, so it's pretty cool. Increased reload with special weapons, that's standard. And increased melee attack, also standard. And then you have, for the harness, you have gain a temporary increased reload speed while Oversoul's Gaze is active. So that's the big orb. When someone goes down in the Courtesan raid, the huge orb of light spawns and you have to shoot that. It's kind of like a Oracle, but it's just massive and green. And then you have Untitled Striders, and you can carry more ammo with heavy weapons, and you gain agility while carrying the sword, so that's helpful for being a sword bearer. Then for my helmet, I have Knucklehead Radar, and this was a pre-DLC helmet, so you probably know what that does. And all of these have 36 light, and 36 times 4 is 144, and that gets you to 32. So that's my gear. I'll just show you my inventory. So I have 9 exotic shards, and I mostly got these from just dismantling exotics of mine. Some armor that was only 30 light maximum that I get exotic shard for. Commendations, I have 7 of those. So I've leveled up my Vanguard 7 times since the DLC. Actually, probably about 8 or 9 times, maybe 10, because I have spent a few commendations. And the Spirit Bloom and Energy. I have a lot of healing filaments. I don't quite know why. Ascendant Shards, I have 181, which is just way too many. I don't even use them anymore. 79 Strange Coins. I got these from just engram opening, box opening, strikes. Obviously the weekly heroic strike level 30 gives you 9 strange coins. I've been doing that a lot. And then lots of sapphire wire because I'm a hunter. I have that as armor upgrade, weapon parts. Everyone knows what those are. 99% of energy. Again, this is for upgrading weapons of just legendary class, I believe. And then 74 motes of light, which you can get from, I think you get them from basically leveling up from 19 to 20, like the XP from that, just over and over and over again. You get a mote of light each time you level up fully. So that's one way. You can also get it out of engrams, other things like that. So I have 74 of those. And if you didn't know, Juju comes on the weekends on Friday at I think 5 a.m. for me. And basically he sells occasionally engrams that you can buy for 23 motes of light. And they can be various engrams. It can be any of the pieces of armor or weapons, I think. Maybe it's just armor, but it could be weapons too. And so you can save your motes of light and buy an engram that's of exotic rarity, and you can turn that into the Cryptarch, get an exotic. So strange coins, obviously, you guys know what those do. You can just buy exotic gear from Juju. That's pretty well known at this point. And so for exotic weapons, I'm just going to go to my vault. I stack these all up in order so you can kind of see all that I have. So I have 20 right here, obviously 5x4 space, but I actually have 21 because I got this extra Gallowhorn from a Crucible match yesterday, I believe, and I'm going to make a video about that to show you the footage, but it's pretty funny. I joined the game late and I went 3-3, like 3 kills, 3 deaths, and then the game ended, and my team lost, and I got a Gallowhorn from that match, so that's pretty funny. But Anyway, so I have No Land Beyond. This is a DLC weapon. I had 2 of these, but I dismantled 1 because I don't need 2. And I really don't even use this thing. It's pretty bad. It needs a buff, honestly. The only thing that really needs a buff is the rate of fire. And maybe some damage, but I haven't gotten this upgrade yet. This could be a very good upgrade. But anyway, that could use a buff. I got both of them from the first chest in the Crota's End raid. So if you didn't know, that chest can drop exotics. I've opened it maybe 6 or 7 times. I've gotten 2 exotics out of it. My friend got Monte Carlo. My other friend got Dragon's Breath. I've seen a Truth drop from that. So there's plenty of things you can get from that chest. Next I have Universal Remote. This is the primary shotgun, the one and only in the game. And this is pretty fun to use. I just gear shotguns all for range usually. Range and nothing else. And then I have the last word, and I got this from the Nightfall Strike, which was the Nexus last week, I believe. So this is a 2.0. I haven't leveled it up yet. And then I have Plan C, and I bought this from Juju when he sold it. I have Bad Juju. This is a bounty weapon, obviously. You have to get the exotic bounty for Bad Juju. And complete it, and then you get Bad Juju. And then for Hawk Moon, this is a 2.0 weapon. I've upgraded a little bit, but with this many exotics, it's really hard to upgrade all of them, obviously. I don't have enough XP or time or materials, exotic shards to level all these up, so it does take a while. But I got this Hawk Moon particularly from a Rock Strike, and the same day I got one, or actually a day after I got this from the Rock Strike, I got a Hawk Moon from a legendary engram, so that was really awesome. Then I have Thorne, which is, again, a bounty weapon. You get this from the exotic bounty. I think it's called the Light in the Darkness, but you complete that. It's kind of a tedious bounty at that, and you get the Thorne. And then I have my multi-tool. This is the only scout rifle that's exotic in the game right now, except for Fate of All Fools, which is of the next DLC. You can watch a video about that. There's plenty of them out there. But this is the only exotic scout rifle in the game so far. And I bought this from Juju when he sold it, once again, so I did max that out. It's actually fairly decent for a scout rifle. I don't usually use scout rifles, but that one's actually pretty good. Then I have Surus Regime. I bought this a long time ago when Juju sold it, and I used Juju to upgrade it to the 2.0 version, so it has 302 damage, maximum of 331. So that's a pretty high damaging gun if I choose to upgrade it. Then I have Hard Light, and oddly enough I received this from the chest, the exotic chest in the Vault of Glass, as well as, pretty sure I received something else. Oh yeah, I received a Hawk Moon from that chest as well, or actually 2 Hawk Moons from that chest. I've had 4 Hawk Moons ever, and 2 are the old version, and 2 are the new version. And I think I have some of them on my other characters, but I guess I have more than 21 exotic weapons. But these are all the ones I have in this character. This is my main character. So next I have the Icebraiker, and this is a really sought after weapon because it's so rare. You can only get this from the Vault of Glass on hard mode, which is level 30. And I did this a few days ago, and I got the Vex, and it was really exciting because it was funny. From the previous reward in the raid, I got 2 Fatebringers, and I can actually show you those right now. I have the maxed out one here, and then I got this one and that one from the raid a few days ago. From the same drop. I think it was the Oracle's checkpoint. And from the Oracle's checkpoint I got 2 Fatebringers, and that filled up my inventory in my primary slot. So when I was rewarded 2 raid helmets, the Timebreaker, and the Vex, I read the chat, but I didn't see fast enough that I actually earned the Vex. And it didn't give it to me because my primary slot was full, so there was no room left. And then I put it in the Postmaster. And I'll have a video of that if I can upload it. My software's having a bit of an issue, I would say right now, but I'll see if I can get that uploaded soon. And so the Vex Mythoclast was a lost item in my Postmaster, and that was really, really funny to see. And I was super excited. So next we have the Icebreaker, and again, this is a really sought-after weapon, mainly because it recharges ammo, like regenerates over time, and it's around 5 seconds for each round. It holds a maximum of 6, and the range is maximum, so it's a pretty good sniper rifle, and you can't reload it, so that's also strange. But solar damage, regens ammo. This upgrade allows you to basically explode enemies that are killed by your Icebreaker. You don't even have to get a headshot, they just explode for dying, and that's a pretty cool upgrade. Then we have Patience and Time. Juju sold this 2 or 3 times, I believe, and I got it from, I think, either a chest or an engram, I don't remember. But I got it about the week that Juju sold it, so I didn't bother buying it. And actually, the perk of this sniper rifle you probably know of is you can gain active camouflage while aiming down sight. So basically, when you're aiming down sight for a few seconds, you become invisible. And that's really helpful in PvP when you're sniping people. Next I have Pocket Infinity. This is a bounty weapon as well. And you have to get the exotic bounty to retrieve this weapon. And what's cool about this is it's similar to the Vex Mythoclast in that it fires in full auto. And it's a solar fusion rifle. So it's actually really good at close range. It's like a shotgun almost. Basically, you just do the initial charge up, and if you keep holding the trigger down, it will fire off its entire magazine. And what's neat about the upgrade here is it's kind of like mulligan and full auto mode. Basically, you can fire in full auto, and any rounds that return, or any rounds that miss, can return to the magazine. So, mulligan on the Icebreaker. If you miss a round, it has a chance to return ammo to the magazine. That's helpful because you can't reload this magazine. But same thing with Pocket Infinity. So this is a really good gun, actually. I enjoy using it. It's a lot of fun to use. So if you have the bounty, I'd recommend completing it. And then I have Thunderlord. Now I haven't maxed this thing out much because I frankly don't use exotic heavies that much, because I like to have an exotic either in the primary or secondary slot so I can use it more often. But I did get this from, that was a long time ago. This was, I think, my second exotic ever. I believe I got it from the first Nightfall I ever did. And I only had one character at the time, so I just did it once a week. And I got the Thunderlord for it, and that was really awesome. And then I have Truth, kind of the underdog of the Gallahorn, I would say. And I bought this. It's a 2.0 version. I bought this from Juju when he sold it a few weeks ago. Maybe it was 2 weeks ago. And you have Super Good Advice. This is a bounty weapon as well. And unfortunately, the stability, even though it doesn't look that low, is the recoil is a bit too much for me. I tried using this gun a little bit at the start. I might try it again later, but the recoil is a bit too much for me. I don't really enjoy using this weapon at all. I miss most of my shots, and it's not super good that I found. Then obviously Gallahorn. Everybody wants this gun. Literally everybody. It's super good in the raid, especially if you have 2.0 version. What makes the gun is the Wolfpack rounds here, and it basically track and cluster missiles, basically double the damage of this gun. So there was a video of a guy soloing the Crota's End raid, and he had a maxed out 2.0 Gallahorn, and he was taking down Crota's shield with 2 shots with basically 1 magazine, and then picking up the sword and smacking Crota with the sword. And he did the final boss battle as well as the rest of the raid solo, and that was really cool to watch. But Gallahorn, is safe to say it's pretty overpowered. It's hard to find ammo, obviously, because it's a heavy weapon, but once you get ammo, things will die very quickly. It's a great weapon. Next we have Invective and the 4th Horseman, and these 2 are exotic shotguns. I think they're the only exotic shotguns, actually, but this was my first exotic, or not particularly this one, but Invective was. I had a maxed out version of 300 that was the 1.0 version, and I actually deleted it when I got this one from another bounty. I've gotten actually, I think, 10 or 11 exotic bounties ever, and I chose Invective about 4 or 5 times, just because it would. I knew it was a good gun, but I actually deleted the exotic bounty because I didn't feel like doing it. At one point I had 4 exotic bounties, and I'm just like, alright, I'm not doing any of these, and I just deleted all of them, because I already had all the bounty weapons. I had all 5 bounty weapons. I still do. And then last I have the 4th Horseman, and I got this directly after I got, what gun was it? It must have been, I got it from the Nightfall. I don't remember. I got 2 exotics in a row. I'm pretty sure it was this one. Don't Touch Me. This is a really good gauntlet. But I got the 4th Horseman directly after I did Don't Touch Me. That was the first week of doing the DLC. It was, the strike was Omegle, and I got this directly after getting Don't Touch Me gauntlets. And so that's all my weapons. The unique ones, at least. I have 2 Gallahorns, obviously, but that's all the unique ones. And then I'll just go into the weapons. So not the weapons, I just did the weapons. I'll go into the armor. So I have the Mask of the 3rd Man. This is a 2.0 version. 36 light, 92 intellect. It's pretty good. My current effect is 95%, so my super recharges very, very quickly. That's one of the perks of having intellect. And pretty standard upgrades here. The only one that's decent is the Arc Blade attacks use less energy. And then I'm obviously wearing Knucklehead Radar, which I can look at right now. So it allows you to have your radar remain visible while you're aiming primary weapons. So any primary weapons, you can still see your radar while aiming down sight, when usually it disappears, and increase super energy from killing minions of the darkness. So actually this is, you gain more super energy from killing anything that's not a Guardian. In other words, anything PvE and not PvP. So that's a useful perk, actually. It's very useful. And then causing damage with grenade reduces your melee cooldown. So that's actually one of the better helmets. I did show you my raid gear already. So let's do the gauntlets here. I have Young Umkar's Spine. This is a 1.0 version, and it has 30 light, but it looks really awesome. I do really like the look of this gauntlet. And what's kind of unfortunate is I don't use the Trip Mine Grenade, but it just looks so cool. I usually wear this thing anyway, but I do want to get the 2.0 version eventually, and the Raid Helmet, and that will be my dream setup, either the Raid Helmet and this, or the Raid Helmet and Young Umkar's Spine, because they both look really cool. I'm a fan of gauntlets and the Raid Helmet. So this is Don't Touch Me. Kind of gave a bad view right there, so I'm going to take this and actually show you what it looks like, because you can get a better view this way. So you can see right there, it's got the really big horn on the one side. You can see there, that's what it looks like. And I really would like to have the Raid Helmet, because that just looks beast. And the gauntlet right now. That would be a really good setup for me, being level 32, and to have this gauntlet equipped. That would be really awesome. So that's all my armor. Now kind of my legendary weapons, I have Fatebringer maxed out, Vision of Confluence maxed out. I did get the Eidolon Ally. This thing is pretty cool. It's when you get the Husk of the Pit, which is this actually, I have 2. When you get the Husk of the Pit from killing Blades of Crota, you have to get 500 kills with this gun upon, I believe it's just Hive. So 500 Hive kills with this gun, then you get the full Cannibalism upgrade, then you have to buy an Embalming Orb from Eris Morn. Once you have rank 3 and 5 Black Wax Idols, then you can equip that and it becomes the Eidolon Ally. And this gun is similar to the Atheon's Epilogue, where it fires really fast, has low impact, low range, relatively high stability in this case, but Atheon's Epilogue doesn't have that high stability. But this gun is actually a lot better than Atheon's Epilogue in my opinion. The damage goes, I think, what does it go up to? It goes up to 324, so it's not quite as good as 331, but it's still up there, it's past 300. So it's a pretty decent gun. So if you choose to get the Husk of the Pit, you can just farm the Fist of Crota mission level 24 and kill the Blade of Crota over and over and over again until you get it. It does take a while. I got lucky. I got mine on like the 10th try, like not even farming, just going around and patrol killing the Blades of Crota, and I just got it dropped. I do have footage of that on my upload. And then I have the Light of the Abyss. This is the raid, the Crota's End raid fusion rifle. Pretty awesome gun. Fast charge time, high impact, high range, high stability, high reload. So everything's relatively high for a fusion rifle. And this is probably one of the best fusion rifles I've ever used, actually. And then from the raid, I got the Vex Mythoclast on. The last raid I did, I got the Praetorian Foil. And this is a very good gun. The impact is almost 100%. It looks like it's 95% there. So this will literally just stop a Praetorian like in its tracks, because the higher the impact, the more knockback it has on the rounds. So like a high impact sniper will stagger an enemy. Same for a fusion rifle, same for an RPG if it doesn't blow them up first. So the charge rate is pretty slow if you take this off. Pretty slow, a little bit less usable than if you have the accelerated coils, which I think even more than double the charge time, or have it, I should say. So that upgrade is almost essential for this gun, but it's still very good. And then I have Predeath's Revenge. That's the Vaulted Glass Sniper, the Vaulted Glass Shotgun, Found Verdict. I use this pretty much exclusively in PvP in the Crucible, just because its range, rate of fire is pretty decent, impact's high. Stability's kind of low, but that doesn't matter too much for a shotgun. It's just a really good overall shotgun for the rate of fire now. And then I have Murmur, which is a really good fusion rifle. Again, if you have Murmur, I'd recommend using that. It's and maxing it out, it's pretty good. For the spot right here, to upgrade this past this point, the last 3 upgrades, you need I think it's called a Ruined Core. And a Ruined Core costs 5 Black Wax Idols. And I think I misspoke. For the Eidolon Ally, you need an Embalming Orb. I don't know if I said that or not. But an Embalming Orb costs 10 Black Wax Idols. And the Ruined Core costs 5. So they're both pretty inexpensive, but you can both find them in the vendor. There's more over there. Crota's Bane. You can see her over there, that's her ship right there. You can buy those 2 from her. And for my RPGs, I have heavy weapons. I have Gallahorn extra, my extra Gallahorn. Corrective Measure, this is maxed out. This is from the Vaulted Glass, obviously. Then I have Jolder's Hammer. This is a Iron Banner weapon, and I got it, as well as Timur's Lash, which I accidentally deleted from the Crucible, and I got it just as a reward. So that was pretty cool. I did max it out. It's pretty good for arc burn strikes, anything like that. It's really high damage. Basically hits like Icebreaker when you have the damage upgrade on it. And then I have Hunger of Crota, which is the raid RPG. And this thing, 331 damage. It's almost a Gallahorn. I want to say that. It's almost a Gallahorn. Really high damage, high blast radius. RPGs typically have low rate of fire. 2 magazine, that's not bad. Reload's pretty high, stability's high, velocity's mid to high. In terms of RPGs, I've seen them go way down here. I mean, those are pretty bad, but I mean, this 80%, that's pretty good. So this gun is really, it's pretty good for the raid itself, because you're always fighting the Hive, and close out of that accidentally, but the Hive Disruptor increases damage to Hive Majors, so that's Ogres, Knights, maybe Crota himself, that takes more damage if you have this upgrade here, so that's useful. Other than that, that's basically my whole character. I guess I could look at my cloaks. Oops, I put them in my vault. I have a lot of cloaks actually. Brawler's Cloak. This one's kind of cool. It's like a Thorne. I got that from a Rock Strike. It's a rare. Frunius Cloak. Just kind of going over here quickly. This one you can buy from the Speaker of the Traveler. Cloak of No, that's a... Just gonna skip it. You can look at those. Dustwalker. Cloak of the Leopard. This one's like a camo one. Kind of cool. That one's another faction one. You can look at those in the vendors. That's a Crucible. That's a Crucible. This is the Vanguard one. It's similar to one of the other ones I have, but the makeshift scarf. This is the first one you get, which isn't even... Not even a cape, actually. It's just a scarf, I guess. I mean, anyway, that's basically it, guys. It's my fairly long character update, so I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please leave a like, and I'll see you guys later.